Every day is upside down day in Soundschi land. Hi and welcome to the Soundschi land show where everybody's upside down. And I cannot believe that I'm sitting next to you here. I used to admire Andrii Bondarenko from Instagram. Actually, your whole family, Julia and
and my daughter
your
soon.
daughter. Yeah, so it's an honor to have you here on the show.
Much. Thank you.
And I want to dive right in. How did you decide to go into performing after having been in sports acrobatics at such a high level?
Actually, I didn't really decide. It just happened because when I was retiring with my sport acro, when I won everything what I could in acro sports, then I decided that nothing more because acro sport not included in Olympic Games. And we have similar competition, it calls World Games, and I won that competition in 2005. And then I decided, okay, it's enough for me and I need to try something else. And then after I've been invited from Cirque du Soleil to go on before they used to do these formations, they call it formations, when you go for 3 months in Montreal and you study how to be an artist from sport, because it's very different. When you're in sport, you're more like a robot, you have to do some small things, but when I went in formation, they was teaching us how to open yourself. Sometimes we were supposed to be as an actors. It was so many lessons for us, really good. I woke up at 8, I remember, and I came back at my residence at 6 p.m. I was so exhausted, but it was non-stop every day. I think we had 2 days off during the week.
And what is it what you did?
Also, my specialization was bankin. It's kind of acrobatics, and I used to be a flyer still there at that time. But it pushed me a lot, and after that 3 months, I realized it's exactly what I need in my life, and it's exactly what I want to be as a performer. I like to be on stage because at the end of that formation, we supposed to do presentation of the act, and at that time we did presentation for Show KURIOS as a bankin group, but we had only 6 people. It was 2 flyers, me and another guy, and 4 basses, like potters. And after that, Cirque du Soleil wanted to take me and another partner from our team from the sport.
So they picked you.
Yes, they picked us, but we said no because also I used to perform with my brother, and my brother, he wasn't picked from Cirque du Soleil.
I didn't know you had.
Yes, my real brother, his name is Andrii Bondarenko. Now he works with Cirque du Soleil as well, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit later. We've been working together at the same show.
That's nice.
Yes.
Family reunion.
So after that, I decided no, we still wanna keep our team from the sport because we did so many things together, and that's how we grow up. We was best friends. We was like a brothers, and to split that group, and unfortunately, or fortunately, because maybe I wasn't ready for that time as a hand balancer, we decided to stay together but wait for another sports for us as a team, as a 4 people. But after that, we came back home to Ukraine, and we got the call from Cirque du Soleil again after 1 month, and they asked us if we would like to go on some special events and work with Cirque du Soleil. All of us, yeah. Nice. And we were like, okay, for sure, because they liked our skills. And we did 2 gala show, like special events with Mercedes McLaren, it was Spain, and then it was new car Fiat Bravo at that moment, it was in Rome, Italy. After that, they still wanted to pick me and another partner of me, and we said no, we still would like to stay together as a team. And at that moment, we just came back home, we made some money from that special events, and we created an act together for 4 people. It called Men in Black. At that time, it was popular movie, famous. And we've been working in like small palazzo varieté, like varietés, show, special events outside of Cirque du Soleil until 2010. And then after one palazzo varieté was 2010 in Berlin, Germany. And one of my partner, he decided to leave because he decided to get married with another girl who been living in Russia, and we are from Ukraine. So, and we couldn't say no, of course. So we separated a little bit, and it was three of us. And another guy, he decided to also to leave us, and so it was only me and my brother. And it was a little bit nervous, but then I like, okay, maybe it's even better. And then after probably 1.5 months, we got the call exactly from this Cirque du Soleil, and they invited me and my brother at that moment to join Show KURIOS as an arena tour, because from the beginning it was Big Top, and I explain you the difference. Big Top show works, usually it works for 10 years. It's a tent show, and we staying for 2-3 months on one in one city. And after that, after Big Top works for 10 years, they move in this show to arenas, and arenas they stay in one city for 1 week, sometimes few days, and then they change in
that must be exhausting.
It was exhausted, yeah. I've been working arena tour for 3 years, and with my brother, yeah.
Okay.
So we got together at the same show. It was Kidam, but as a banking flyer. And after that, I realized what my passion is: handstand. I like to do handstand, hand balancing. I was creating new styles, like I like to move my legs or feet, yeah, something like that.
How did you find that out? Did you have an inspiration?
Yeah, it just came from, I don't know, from inside. I liked to film something, and then I checked on the camera, and like, okay, I can exaggerate something with this move, and I can make it a bit better, and then I can continue with another move, and then I checked, I tried. Also, I always was asking my brother, oh, what do you think about this move? And he's always supported me. He's always like, oh, it's great, but try here, point your toe, or just flat your toe. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's gonna work. And then I started to develop that style. And I started to stay after the show, even if it was 2 shows per day still in Kidam. I was staying after the show, I was practicing, I was doing some handstand on the canes, and then I started to send it into casting. And after few years, yeah, they invited me to join KURIOS as a soloist, as a hand balancer, yeah, and here I am.
So is this your first?
This is my first show
Solo
as a
show.
soloist.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, because I thought that you had been around for a long time.
No, professionally I doing hand balancing only for now almost 5 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, so you started in a group, and now you're doing it alone.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what you like better? Because I did
it's not
too.
a secret.
Yeah.
It's not a secret for everybody. Of course, I like to do solo act. Honestly, it's less stress. It's
Really?
well, sometimes when you work with 12 people, it can be great people, but you know, sometimes you have a bad mood and you have to
Cope with everybody.
Yeah, you have to deal with this. And sometimes if somebody needs to train, everybody have to go and training.
Yeah.
Here I'm independent. I can practice in my hotel room or at gym, any gym.
What does your practice look like?
Paying attention a lot for the warm up. It's I think if you're not gonna be I mean warm up, I mean to prepare your body before handstand. If somebody is jumping to the handstand right away, maybe just wrist warm up, of course, and shoulders warm up, no, it's not enough. For me, I like to do I warming up my body, maybe some cardio, just maybe 2-3 minutes. And then I started to do stretching. All the stretching, I mean, it's like all the splits, pikes, different pikes. If I don't have too much time, at least one split, the straddle one, middle split. This one I can go for later at the end of the show. But all the splits, and then I started to do my handstand on the floor, like few combinations. Maybe it's 5 minutes hold handstand, switch the arms with the tucks and different shapes, and then I would do one arm handstand with the flags and also different shapes, but more with the flexibility.
Do you still consider that your warm-up?
It's still my warm-up, yeah. And then I would go on canes after that one, and then I would go on stage to perform. Yeah, but my warm-up before I go on handstand, it takes about 45 to 1 hour.
Ah, wow.
45 minutes to 1 hour.
Yeah, you said to me earlier backstage that your warm-up takes more effort than
your show. Yeah, my warm-up
is
harder than my act, I would say. That's true.
So do you pump or what?
No, I just I preparing my body. I think I pushing my body to do more, so then when I would go on stage, it would feel easier for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is my methodic.
I think I would get tired.
And sometimes, for example, if I would learn new skill, I would add this skill in my warm-up routine. For example, I doing one combination. Long combinations can be for like 2 minutes combination, but I would from the beginning maybe put that new skill or shape from the beginning of my combination. If I would fall, I would need to repeat it. And then if I would be more consistent with that shape, I would put it at the end. So when I would be more tired, I would do that.
Interesting.
Shape.
Okay, so for learning, you would rather be fresh. For learning new stuff,
I would be, yeah.
And once you can do it, you put it at the end. Interesting.
To work more for endurance.
What are you working towards? Like, what is a skill that you want to achieve
for now?
Because it seems like you can do everything.
I don't know, because you know, for example, when I'm away from the family, I try to make myself as busy as I can, so time goes faster. And then I decided, okay, I started to develop my left arm handstand. Now, because when I was in sport, they didn't teach us at all how to do left arm handstand. So I started from zero. I didn't do left arm at all.
So you trained your right side for like 10 years and your left side for...
Right, since the sport, well, I started to do my right, not like super good, maybe 5 seconds when I was probably 12. Now I'm 32, so about almost 20 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
Yeah, but left about 6 or 7 years ago, from zero, yeah. My left arm was horrible, just I couldn't find balance, my legs was not on the right position. So then now I feel more comfortable on my left arm. And then I decided, like I started, you asked me about the skills. I decided, okay, maybe I will try to do left arm and gonna go on the crocodile from one arm. And I decided it's gonna take about at least months, but it took me maybe 3 days. And like, okay, what is gonna be next? And then I decided, okay, I'm gonna do one arm press on my left arm handstand. And then I thought, honestly, I thought it's gonna take at least half year, maybe 1 year. I was ready for 1 year. I like, okay, will be working, I have so much time. And then after 2 weeks, I could do one arm press with leg holding like this, so it's a bit easier. I was super happy because I didn't expect that result, but also I did so many drills before I would do that one arm press. And after 3 weeks, I was able to do one arm press without the leg holding. And like, okay,
Nice.
and then I was bored a little bit because, you know, now I
What's
don't know
next?
what to do next. I still working on the hops from one arm to another arm to make it more consistent, because eventually I would like to create an act with my wife with the really, really good skills.
I was gonna ask you that too. if
We
you know.
created an act already, but on the floor, it's a little bit really nice style, because it's sometimes I doing skills on my wife, sometimes she does on me, and then in one moment with both doing some handstand with good skills, and we send it to casting and we're waiting maybe we can fit in the show. But it's not that easy, because first of all it's a huge competition, and second, uh, sometimes they need like specific acts and they wait in, maybe not for this show we're gonna fit in this show, but maybe like another one. So it's really depends.
Because the character has to fit and
Yes,
everything.
yes,
the
it's
story.
very depends from so many details, but we're still patient, and hopefully in maybe 2020 or 21 they're gonna find some place for us.
I imagine it must be really hard to be separated from your family.
This
so
is
long.
the hardest part of the performing. It's not for everybody, I would say, because even when you performing, and sometimes, for example, we are in Japan now, my family in I mean my daughter in Ukraine, and my wife, she's in South America now. And for for me, I have to even choose. Now we're gonna I last tour break I went to see my daughter.
Yeah.
Next tour break I going to see my wife.
Yeah.
So for now, for me it's also more difficult, at least if they both would be at the same continent at least, or same place, it would be easier. But now I need to choose, either I'm gonna go to see my daughter and we have only 10 days. I cannot go and see them both. It would take like 3 days just to see one person and then another one, because also to get to another country it takes about 1 day or sometimes 2 days, depends which side do you go. So this is the hardest part of to be as a performer, and you have to sacrifice. It's not for everybody. Some people, they say, oh, it's my dream to get to Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, when you're young you can travel, you can enjoy the life, but then in one moment they're realizing what they don't have families, because it's already been 10 years and they've been traveling, and when you're traveling a lot you don't have time to meet some person who you love, or to create who you can stay with, and that person not maybe like your type of the style of your life. And then some people, they can tell you, okay, either you're gonna choose me or your work. Yes, so it's not for everybody, unfortunately. But I still love my job. I really enjoy my job and my wife, and we understand together, because she's a performer, I'm a performer, so we understand each other. I just took sabbatical for 10 months last year, and it was nice. I've been traveling with my daughter and my wife in South America. We could spend time as a real family, and it was really nice, but it was a bit fast, but still it was a nice experience.
Well, from an outside perspective, it seems like you are the perfect couple. Like, it's, for me, it would be a dream too. If this guy would just do some acrobatics with me or something, but he's not interested in that. I cannot see how you don't get a duo act. Like, you don't get a job with a duo act because you were such a high level.
I had proposition to join also my wife's show, but I didn't like the conditions what they proposed me.
Okay.
But
so it's
we
on
already
both ends.
Yes, that's why I told you it really
high
depends.
standards.
Yeah, so I don't wanna go with the bad conditions, because I have good conditions in this show, and I like my show. It's really nice team. It's really great people here and all the professionals. I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't like my wife's show, but they proposed, and my wife, she understood me. I told her, because we always talking to each other, and I said, okay, they proposed me, but here is conditions, and this, she said no, and I said no as well. So we're waiting for another proposition, because what they proposed me to do a backup act, our act, do a act, because my wife, she does main character, and she has a big role.
She does the one with the
water ball.
the water.
Yeah, so it's really beautiful, but it's really hard act, and she couldn't do both act in one show. I mean, her act diving, like with the water ball, and our duo act. I mean, she would do it, but the artistic director, she decided it would be too much for her. Like, if she would get sick or something, she wouldn't do both acts.
Yeah.
So that's why they proposed me to do, and us to do our duo act as a backup act. But what they proposed is to do only 2 times per week. And I like to be on stage. I cannot imagine to stay on backstage and just watch the show. No, I would get crazy. That's why I said, and I would have so much depression. I said, I'm sorry, no, not this time, but if you're gonna have another propositions, let us know.
Yes. I totally understand that. What about Amélie? Do you see some performing in her future?
For sure, because she's already trying to do handstand by herself. I think she will be really good in aerial, because she has a good grip. For now, I just came for this tour break. I just went to Ukraine, and I saw her. She was growing up, and she's getting stronger.
Yeah. She didn't let you go. You were spinning her around.
Yes, always she's trying to climb as high as she can, and it's just a little monkey. Yeah, she's so funny, and she's so strong. Her arms is super strong. Since she was about 2 months, she could hold my fingers, big fingers, and I could lift her up, and she could hold 30 seconds. And everybody started, and I posted to Instagram. Everybody, of course, they was complaining, no, put the baby down, blah blah blah. Yeah. I cannot, because she really in love with this. Even when I was doing some, I was swimming her, and she was again. I also got some comments, of course. I was expected that.
I saw this one post where she was doing handstands.
Oh my god, it was so many bad comments, like, oh no, put the baby down. And then one day before, we went in the park, and we got sunburned, me and Emily, but I was in the makeup, and Emily, she was red, but she was fine, and she left to do handstand. As soon as she was born, because she saw what me and my wife, who always was doing handstand at because we was preparing for our duo act, and we was practicing sometimes in our room. And she was young. I think she's still thinking what everybody can do handstand. It's normal for her. And at that time, she always was putting her leg up, and she was asking us to spot her for the handstand. And she was in love. And when we was putting her down, she's like, no, put me again to the handstand. She loves to be upside down. And then my wife, she came because she was at that moment still on maternity leave after she was given the birth. And she came on backstage, and Emily saw the canes with the blocks, and she's like, oh, and she started to practice, and like, oh, let me film you. And I filmed, and then I posted on Instagram. Oh my god, I got so many bad
it was crazy
comments.
Yeah.
And on Emily's page, somebody even locked, I don't know how do you call it, when you cannot see the post. Yeah, I like, come on. It's okay, people, everybody is different.
And well, it's probably also hard to understand from somebody who's not in the environment.
Not in this sport, and I understand them maybe from from their vision. It's not normal For the artist, it's always normal. Like, oh, okay, for sure. Handstand, okay, wherever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wish I was her as a baby.
Yeah, I wish I could start also younger. when I
But
was
you are
younger.
at an insane level. Like,
I
why
started
would you start?
sport even too late. I started when I was 10. And usually kids they start from 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to become as a good level as an athlete. I started when I was 10.
So you probably had a good body for the
Yeah,
sport.
because also I had a good coach. It was Vitaly Bernik, and also it was nice. First of all, I was been training with my brother, so we was supporting each other all the time.
Did you start together?
First it was me, and maybe after a few months or after 1 year, my brother he joined me as well. From the beginning, we was in the different groups, and then we become in a special group because head coach they saw me and my brother, and my coach he also checked the parents. My parents they were small, and he's like, okay, you probably will be a flyer. But my brother he used to be a flyer from the beginning as well. He used to be a small, but then he started to grow up, and then my brother he was my base.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then we started to come to do competitions. We started to travel around the world, and it probably was motivating me as well to get out from my country because I'm from Ukraine. At that moment, when I was in sport, it was super hard. It was super hard because I'm not from the rich family. And sometimes it was really hard time to even get to the training and sometimes to get back home. Yeah.
Because of what?
Because of the money situation, sometimes even to go on the competitions, we're supposed to get some monies, and so my parents sometimes they was asking another just to borrow money, and then when they got salary, they was given back. But it was not only one it would be okay, but we both it was two of us. Yeah, so in sport it was super hard situation.
So your parents sacrificed a lot
Yeah,
for
they
you.
sacrificed a lot, and I really appreciate that.
Did that make you work harder?
Yes, probably that was motivating me to work harder, to get outside of the country, to help my parents after I will get some level, good level. I mean, when I was in sport, I already got in national team, so at least we got started to get some salaries. And I remember my first salary, I went to my parents like, yeah, both of us we got some salary. Let's celebrate. So it was really nice time. But after I was retiring, and I realized it's not enough to live. And after I will finish the sport to go as a coach in Ukraine, it's also not really good. Not enough at all. When I was finished university, I went for 1 month just as a coach to coach kids, and my salary was not enough for the transportation to get to the gym and come back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. So then I decided, no, I need to change something.
So was that also maybe a motivation to get into performing? Is it better in performing?
Yes. From also I started to perform a little bit since I was in sport, but because sometimes acrobats even now we going in nightclubs and we doing some small acts, and yeah, people getting money from this. It's not a secret because acro sport not also including, like I said before, in Olympic Games, so the salary is even lower, even if you're in national team. And at that time, when I was performing as an artist, so I realized what I like to be on stage. I like that energy from the people who's clapping and they motivating, like, oh yeah, great job, yeah, blah blah blah. And I realized, I really enjoy to be on stage, and maybe that's also was motivating me. It's so many factors, but I'm glad what I did that sport, even it was hard, and so many people they write me like, oh, I wish I could be on your place, and then I think if you would pass everything what I passed, probably they would want to be on my place, because it was really really hard way to get that level where I am now, and I don't think all the people, even me, I stopped when I was in sport. I left sport and then I realized, no, I have to continue. I need to get something more from this. Yeah.
So what would you give, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who is admiring you and wants to get to the place you are today?
Focus where you want to be, and even if you're tired, don't forget where you're going. And exactly in handstand or hand balancing, I would say if you want to be recognizable, don't copy anybody. Be yourself, find your own style, and just develop your style. Because it's so many hand balancer now. So many. But to be recognizable, you have to be special. You need to bring something from your own style.
Are there some people you admire?
My wife. That's why it's always like, oh, I cannot relax. I like, oh, maybe I'm gonna rest today, and then no, my wife is better, so I need to practice more. Yeah, my wife.
It would be so great if maybe I could talk to her too someday.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Just
Now
need to
they are
travel.
moving in USA. It's gonna be Dallas, then Phoenix, and then some California. I don't remember. You can check the tour plan of Amaluna.
Yeah, I have to check it. We actually went to see Amaluna.
My wife, she
When
wasn't
it was in
performing
Vienna.
there. Yeah, she wasn't performed there.
She wasn't. Oh, that's right. She wasn't there.
Yeah, she was still on maternity leave.
That's right.
She was with KURIOS at that moment.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You have such an interesting story.
Thanks.
It's really, kind of touching to hear how much effort you put into all of this and
yeah,
also the struggles.
sometimes when you're gonna get deeper, it's not everything is not
that glamorous.
Like, yes.
Even though it looks really glamorous. And I'm
it's
sure
so much work to
Yeah.
do if you wanna be like in a good level.
But well, definitely you are one to admire. And
Thanks a lot.
you are also one of my favorite people to watch because
Thanks,
you are
appreciate
insanely clean and steady, very
Thanks
strong.
a lot.
So thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for invitation and this interview. I'm really appreciate it. It's nice to
And
meet you.
Also to you, thank you for
Thanks
watching.
a lot.
And remember that the world is your playground, so just go ahead and do whatever you love. And I'll see you next Monday on the Soundschi Show.